Today I'm going to show you how to make this Venn diagram artwork. So this artwork, it's all about color blending and mixing. To start, you need a toilet roll to make your round circle shape. You get some black paint. I'm just using a poster paint here, and I'm adding water to it because I want to make it really nice and liquidy. So the paper I'm using is just plain white paper. You can also use some of the watercolor card as well. And for this one, I'm going to mix in a little bit of blue into it and a little bit of white as well. But you can just have black on yours if you want to. Again, I'm just adding a bit of water. This is quite thick, so I want to make it nice and liquidy to do our stamping in. When it's all mixed up, you've got enough water in it. You're going to get your cardboard roll and you're going to get some paint on it, and then you start to stamp down onto your surface. So start by just having the circles not joined together, so just create circles all over your paper. You can go out over the edge of your paper as well. And then you want to start joining the circles together. So start overlapping your circles and creating your pattern. So how many circles you put on your artwork is completely up to you. You want to make sure that you don't have too much white space. So have them overlapping each other, and also just make sure that the overlap, it's not too small so that you can actually colour and draw inside it. So I'm happy with that. And then what you need to do is you need to leave that to dry. And when that's fully dry, then we're going to move on to the next step. One that I started earlier. And on this, we're going to do a combination of, you can use a combination of markers and watercolors. So if you're using watercolors, play around with mixing your watercolors in together. So for example, you want to make sure that there's no two spaces have the same color in them. So if you mix your blue and yellow together, you'll get a green. So keep playing with the color, filling in different colors so that no two spaces have the same color in beside them. And just make sure that I normally do around the edges first, and then I move towards the center of my space to help stay within it. So keep colouring in with your watercolours. You can blend different colours together to get different colour tones. I want quite natural muted colours on this because I'm going to add some pops with my marker a bit later on. So here I'm adding some more greens to it, and I'm just blending in then some blue with my green to get a kind of a turquoise tone, a little bit more blue to get a darker blue there. So I've done a mixture of different watercolor paints there, and then other colors that you can use are, you can use some coloring pencils as well to get different textures over as well, over your coloring pencils with a little bit of watercolor paint too if you want to. And then you can create patterns between them. So you can do hatching patterns if you want to, which is a series of cross lines. You can do solid colors in the marker as well. So you'll have the natural watercolors, and then you'll have the bright vibrancy of your marker. You can also do little patterns, play around with different types of patterns in your shapes. So that's one way you can do it. And then you can also mix in different colors. And if your watercolor paints are dry, you can also go over the watercolor paints with the marker too. So you can give an overwash. And you can do that with the colouring pencils as well if you want to. So that's watercolour paint underneath, and I've gone over it with colouring pencil. So play around with lots of different colour and fill the entire sheet with colour. So you can see here I used a lot of colour for this. I used marker, hatching marker for the in-between spaces, and I concentrated on watercolour for my circles and the joinings and the Venn diagram of it. So keep on colouring, fill your whole sheet up and have fun with colour mixing.